Today I will use this palette as, I don't think you guys have seen this palette on my video before. I use it very often. For brushes, I recommend 3 brushes as a kind of a standard for all of you. One is slightly bigger, like fan-shaped, blending and padding brush. And the second one is slightly smaller, for padding and blending in a small area. The last one is more pointed. This 3 brushes is kind of also helps you to remember how and where to apply your eyeshadows. First of all, start from the lightest color of a palette, from any palette. Tap off the extra powders. It's always better, instead of just go in and start wiping it on, is to tap the color first. Tap from out corner towards inner corner. And the area you're going to apply, the principle is the lightest color, you go for a bigger area. The darker it gets, the smaller area you're going to apply. So once you tap the color into the area, then you start doing like a screen wiper, that type of motion. The lightest color is also help to clean your eyelid, to make it a more even skin tone. If you want to add a little bit color, then second time, doing exactly the same, pat, then blend. Then use the same brush, just use the more pointed area, dip into the same color, apply for the under eye area again. Same, tap the color first, then you blend. Make sure the joint area is always well connected and blended. Then you change to the slightly smaller brush, dip into the main color of your eye look. Main color can be any colors you prefer. So in this type of palette, I would go for either of it, or you can mix it. But to be honest, if you're beginners, try not to mix it. Just stay on one color first. And today I prefer this more like smoky, ashy, rosy color. Then only use one side of the brush, dip into the color, not 2 sides. It's because once you start blending, the clean side, it is easier and can be used for correcting your eyeshadows. Tap it off. Then again, pat the color from out corner towards the inner corner. Pat the color first. So normally how I make a judgment in terms of how high this color should go is when you open your eyes as normal, look flat into your mirror, this color should just show above your double eyelid line. If you're a single eyelid line, or if you're more hooded eyes, same principle. So you pat, then you check, look at the mirror. Now I'm looking at the monitor. Just go above the double eyelid. Not too much, just when you open the eyes, people can see what color you used for your eye look today. Like that, right? Don't worry about if there are a little bit of harsh lights. At least you know where you're going to put your eyeshadows on. So once you have that guidant line, then you can start patting the color one more time. Then you know how high this color going to be. And then you start blending from out corner upwards a bit, then towards the middle of your eyes, then sweep into the inner corner. The lightest color should appear from your inner corner. The darkest color should be showing on your out corner. Don't feel it's very complicated, but once you practice once, you will feel it's quite easy to understand. Now again, doing the same window wiping motion. So when you open the eyes as normal, you would see your main color slightly. If you want to emphasize it, again, go for second time. Just apply exactly the same area. Then same color for the under eye. Again, exactly same principle. Apply the darkest color from the out corner, then gently move to inner corner. The color should start disappear once you dip into the inner corner. You would see very minimum colors. Then doing exactly the same. Make sure the joint area is well blended, connected. And then use the smaller brush, dip into the darkest color of your palette, or at least one shade darker than your main color. So in this palette, I'm going to use this dark brown color. The last part needs to be slightly precise. So the principle is the darker the color is the closer you need to get to the out corner and towards your lashes. That's the principle, kind of applied to most of the palettes as well. So once you dip it in, you again pat the color from the out corner, right? Don't worry about it, look a little bit messy. From the out corner, then close your eyes, feel the brush is literally following your lashes. It's pretty much touching your lashes, like that. If you can open your eyes to do that, then even better. But I can't. Like that. Can you guys see? And then start blending. But in a very, very small area. The area not go over your double eyelid. If you feel this little brush is not that easy to blend, then change back to the second size medium size of the brush, then to help it blending it out. Like that. And same color for the under eye, but this time you will only apply this color from the out corner towards the end of your eyeball. So if you draw a line from the edges of your eyeball towards down, so it's only until here, in this small area. So now if you feel the edges is not well melted together, then go back to the lightest color. Only apply gently like that. Then just sweep over the edges gently. To make them all melt together. Now comes to eyeliner. Eyeliner, I would suggest to go for gelled liner first before you move on to liquid. Liquid still need a fairly steady hand to wing out, but the gelled liner is slightly easier to correct, let's put it that way. For the eyeliner, to fill up the waterlines first. Where's the waterline? Let me zoom you in. Is the area when you lift your eyelid, is this area. Just at the bottom of your lashes. I only draw this area so you guys can see. So can you see? It's the bottom of your lashes. Can you tell the difference? Here I had a line, but here I don't have. That's where I would recommend to apply your eyeliners. That would make your eyes look natural, not that easy to make mistakes, because you are not go over your eyelid, you are actually applying within your eyelid. So all you need to do is just use your finger, make sure it's clean to start with, you don't get another color or patch on top of it. Just lift your eyelid slightly, then look at the mirror, then apply from the bottom of your lashes. So can you guys see the difference? This one without, this one with. Now how to do a wing. Regardless how many different methods out there, you still need to practice. If you look at my eye shape, I'm quite round here where my eyeball is, but I have more like sudden and more sharp drop towards the end and the out corner of my eyes. So what I want to achieve is to have my eyes visually lifted up like that a little bit. Will look better than this, right? What I do is, instead of doing from, sorry, I'm looking at the monitors, so may not be that precise, but at least you get the gesture. Here is the end of my eyeline, right? So I start like a couple of centimeters higher than this, pull the eyelid slightly, then draw a line out like that. You roughly see where the guidance are, right? Draw a line out like that. Then to connect the end of my eyeline with that point over here. Let me do the rest facing the mirror. Now I show you the result. So this is the outcome. So I pull my eyelid, started from here, draw a flat line, then to connect the end of the eyeline with the highest point. Like that. Can you see the difference now? Eyeliner is the part that regardless who taught you what, you still need to practice. Make sure you do practice, okay? Then let's move on to the eyelash. For lashes, the easiest way to curl it is to use electronic curler. Very easy. If you have a fairly stubborn lashes like mine, I would recommend to use a eyelash base. It really helps to hold the curl. Then you heat up the electronic lash curler. The easiest way I find is put the electronic eyelash curler from the bottom of your lash for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then you blink. When you blink, the lashes on the color is kind of already been brushed over and give you a very natural curl. So once you curl your lashes, you want to apply mascara. Mascara, if you worry about to apply on your eyelid, choose the applicator that as slim as possible. Similar like a FLORASIS one. Then here's a small technique. Let me zoom you in. After learning all different techniques, I find the best way to apply lashes is to put the applicator at the bottom of your lash, then you blink. While you blink, then you move these lashes like that way. Let me do like this. Can you guys see the applicator towards the end, then going that way, going upwards. You blink. This is what I learned from one of the Chinese YouTuber. It's practical, it's easy, and is effective. Because once you blink, your lashes is actually going downwards. It's not instead of you brush your lashes upwards, which is easy to touch your eyelid. So do it one more time. You hold from the bottom of your lashes, then you blink. For the bottom lashes, instead of doing inside out like this, up and down, you're doing left and right. Can you see? And once you get the product on, all you do is just use the tip, not the entire applicator, just the tip of the applicator, just to spread them out slightly. Then drop down. Compared to this side to here. So that's the easy eye look finished. Once you practice a little bit more, then you know the main colors we apply today, you can change to different colors that you prefer to use that day. Once you get used to your own eye shape, you get used to blending and applying the shadows, then of course then you move on to different colors, different type of eyeshadow palettes. Then you get the basic concept, and then you just swap and change colors as you like. For the eyebrows, there are so many eyebrow pencils out there. There are slimmer ones, there are triangle shape, there are different shapes. I would recommend to go for something more classic. It's like triangle shape or the water drop shape, or something like this. Try not to start with something too slim, because personally I feel that needs actually some practice. Yeah, in terms of brow shape, will depends on your own face structure rather than what type of shapes you like, because something you like may not actually suit you. So my face is more round and squared, so I need to be slightly more pointed, more sharper eye shape rather than a more fluffy, flat eyebrow shape. Although I do love that type of eyebrow shapes, but I tried on my own face, it just makes me look a little bit weird. So yeah, make sure you find the comfortable area between what you like and what suits you. When I start learning how to draw eyebrows, I've seen different videos in terms of 3-point lines. You know, you measure this way, you measure this way, then you measure this way. I think that works for some of people, not necessarily work for myself because of my own eye structure and face structure. What I find is still better just to go with your natural eyebrow shape. Get the darkest color from the middle of your eyebrow, then moving downwards and upwards. Then it's easier to be corrected. So I draw a line, pretty much a line in the middle of my eyebrows, and then to dip it down. So where I want to end is the end of my wing over here. That would be the length of your eyebrow. And once you draw the line, you kind of vaguely to see how you want your brow looks like. And the one principle applies to kind of everyone's eyebrow is the lighter color at the front, the darker color towards the end. Now I would gently just to expand this line downwards and upwards. No need to be that precise. So once you draw a kind of a rough shape like this, then use the brush at the end and just to soften the edges. And then you can see the different color patches. Then just use the brow pencil, not to change the shape, but just to add the color to the patches area. When you look from distance, this is a natural brow already. That's the eyebrows finished. Now we move on to the nose contour. Nose contour, I find the easiest way is not to just, do the stripes like this. Let me show you and explain. For nose contour, I prefer to use some brush like this. It's one of my eyeshadow brush. Then dip into the contour. With nose, less is more, because you don't want to see too dark stripes on your nose, right? What I find the easiest way to do, again, contour this thing, it will be really depends on your own shape. Contour is not to correct, it's more to define your structure. So it can work for me, but may not work for you. For me, my nose challenge is fairly flat to start with. My here nose bridge is not flat, but in comparison to Western nose, for example, like my husband one. My husband one is well pointed, and can you see the dip over here? So what I want is I want here to look a little bit lifted. Besides, my nose is fairly meaty. Is the right way to describe it? I don't want to use the word fat. It's not nice to describe somebody's nose is fat. But in fact, for today's video, yeah, my nose point here is fairly round, right? So how I contour this type of nose is, one, to draw a circle. I'll put a little bit more color for you guys to see. Can you guys see? So you see my brush, yeah? Go this way. Like draw a circle. Like this. Okay? You look here like bulky and pointed, right? Don't worry about it. And then you join this side towards the point on your nose bridge, but point your inner corner over here. Joint this two. Like that. Okay? Then same to the other side. Like that. Okay? And then and link this point to here. Like under your eyebrow, but here is like this way. Like that. Going like that. Okay? If for daily look, you don't need to go, you know, this dark, but today is just for you guys to see. Okay? And then you just blending it out. Now for the nose, is blending upwards, not down, upwards. Here, it just make sure it joins well with your eyebrows, going upwards. Same here. Then to make my nose even more pointed, to use a highlighter, obviously. If you're beginners, try to use a highlighter as neutral as possible. What I would recommend is Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder. To use the highlighter needs to be a little bit more precise. So, use my finger. Can you guys see the natural reflection over here? I'm going to emphasize this and towards down here a little bit. Like that. I won't put on tip of my nose is because that easy to get oily, so I will only apply this area, the nose bridge. So if you have similar shape of the nose as mine, give it a try. Let me know how you feel about it. And then go for blush. As today we use this color from the eyeshadow palette, and I'm going to use the same color as blush. Blush, I think I mentioned many times, try to use or find a brush like this. As is eyeshadow, I know it's not high pigment, but it's still eyeshadows. Eyeshadow is slightly higher pigmentation compared to the blush. So make sure you light-handed. This is what I learned from Regina Gao, who is a Chinese makeup artist. She's based in Australia, I believe. She told kind of like a universal ways of applying blushes for kind of everyone. First of all, you do, like this. You have one finger pointing the side of your nose and one finger pointing the edges of your mouth. And then you level this finger in particular, point into your out corner of your eyes. Then you see the small triangle area of your cheek here, right? You're not applying from here, okay? Common sense, people. You apply from the cheek area in here, and then follow the finger going upwards like that. So mine will be over here, then sweep towards the out corner, where your out corner pointing. But your starting point is here. Just continue same motion. Like that. Once you get your color on, then blend the edges a little bit. Not all over your face cheek, yeah? Otherwise it will be pointless of using this method, you know. Just stay the area. Like that. That's enough. And sometimes if you feel your blush is too much, like today is actually enough, is good. But if you feel your blush is a little bit too much, then don't worry about it. Just find any clean brush like that, soft, then just gently go over the blush to tone it down. Sometimes you can just apply a little bit of powder on top of it. That's it. Then we finish a lip color. To be honest, once your makeup it looks clean but well defined, not too much colors pile up on the face, that gives you more flexibility to your lip colors. And today we just go for any lip colors. I'm going to pick one. Now I go for Lancôme 295. Then to apply lips, I think you guys probably seen a lot of my videos to share the best practice. I highly recommend to get a Real Techniques one, but it look like this. It look like more like a sponge top. It's not a brush. This one is really good. Let me just share the way I apply lips. To start with, just to get the color inside of your lip, definitely within your lip lines. Very roughly, no need techniques in this part. Just glide the color on. Now up as well. Like that. It looks awful and uneven, right? Don't worry about it. Then use this little sponged brush. Make sure you do apply a little bit of lipstick first, the same color, and then you start from the bottom lip. That's what I normally do. Start from the middle, then use the tap motion just to extend the edges, same time smudge the edges. The bottom lip, it looks thicker inner, especially compared to the upper lip. The upside is the same. Start from the middle, extend upward. Now you get the highest points ready, then you know from here to here where it's to connect to. Then start from the corner of your mouth first. This side is way much smoother and expanded. Then that's it. Once everything is done, you're happy with it, make sure you block everything with a setting spray. Hope you liked today's video and hopefully somehow you find it helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and if you do like today's video, don't forget to click the like button and most importantly to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you on my next one.